Oh, say, can you hear?
Yet another red light.
Well, I'm gonna spill all
the secrets you're holding
about the spaceships up there and the aliens down here and all history,
which is totally fake.
I'm going to talk about something that people will be highly interested in, and anyone listening to this that's a contactee or someone highly interested in extraterrestrial contact, I'm going to give you an opinion before I bring this up here about abductions and UFOs in the 60s and 70s when people were seeing ships in the sky and abductions had begun with humans and all the negativity around the abductions. You know, the UFO meetings were popping up and everybody was just, I got abducted by aliens, and the aliens were being treated basically like criminals from outer space. Bad criminals from outer space, assaulting women and, you know, entering their body and putting stuff inside them and all sorts of weird crap going on out there. It was actually happening. That generation of people, the extraterrestrials, are no longer interested in interacting with anybody from the 60s, 70s, 80s. They're not interested in interacting with any of these humans. Right? There's a reason for it. They don't want people to be doing investigations about alien criminal activity, about, I saw the ship, the alien came out, the alien did an abduction, here's the implant, here's the evidence. Okay, that's not acceptable. What is it that the aliens are really interested in? What is really mostly important for extraterrestrials that are walking around on this planet, living in their cities, walking right next to you down the street? They want people to learn what it's like to talk to an extraterrestrial, to learn what the interaction is like, to talk to extraterrestrials face to face. Once they disclose themselves to you, what does it feel like to talk to an alien? Okay? They're wanting us to tell other people that we're having contact so that they can start having contact with these people, so that it will become the norm over the next 25 years of talking to aliens face to face. People, I've never talked about this before, but people want to find out what it's like to interact with aliens. When you're sitting with a person that's an extraterrestrial posing as a human, what it feels like. For me, what I felt this kind of a calm, euphoric feeling around them, this relaxation time. It's almost as if they're coming into their presence. You feel this energy, it's like you feel a person's energy. And people have negative energy, they have good energy, but their energy is such a positive feeling energy that you feel really good around them all the time when you're talking to them and interacting with them. So that's how you feel. And the first time I ever heard about this was another contactee guy named Jim Sparks that talked about that in his book, and I read his book after I met him. And he had mentioned this thing in the book, that this is the way he wants to feel all the time, but we don't feel that way down here on this planet because things are not going good. But when you're around them, it's almost as if they're saying this is how they want you to feel when you're on their home world, when you're interacting with them, is that they have this positive energy, they're positive thinkers, there are positive things going on where they're from, and we're supposed to be feeling great all the time down here. We're not supposed to be feeling bad all the time, stressed all the time, but those in charge down here want us to feel that way, but that's not the way we're supposed to feel. We're supposed to feel good all the time. So they are interacting with the population now to start ahead of time, to start interaction face to face, because the contactees or us, experiencers will have to come out into the public and say, look, I've been in contact with them for the last 10 years. This is who they are. This is what my experience are like. This is very important to the extraterrestrials. There's two ways they can do this. They can come out in mass, land out in public, and that is going to cause too much problems for regular people. They can't handle that, so they're handling it a different way. They're interested in talking to people who are interested in listening to the contactees, what they have to say. And then if the people believe them, then they want to talk to these people. And that's really what's been going on. So from this point on, from 2012 onward, this is the goal of the ETs, the positive ETs that are down here. And that's really what's going on. And this is one of the reasons why I decided to talk about this. And some people may believe what they want to believe, or they may not want to believe what they want to believe. And this thing is still going on even right now, you know. And I'll tell you something. I found out that I was not the only one. It brought to my attention as I was getting these downloads of information coming in, the way they operate, that there were 24 others like myself inside the city. There are 24 other humans walking around Houston, Texas right now. Some of them, they work in different jobs. Some of them are doctors. Some of them are engineers. Some of them are just regular people working regular jobs. So I'll get back to what was going on. In 2010, it was sometime around, it was actually around, sometime around the fall. It was sometime around October of 2010. I was heading out to go put out some business cards at some commercial shopping centers out there in Seabrook that they'd built up out there, because I'm in the the financial services business. So I was heading out there and I was getting information coming in a download to head back to a certain restaurant, that Mediterranean restaurant where they started showing up at back in 2005, 2006. So the restaurant was still open at the time. So what happened was, I was getting downloads and I'm in the middle of Clear Lake, and all of a sudden it was bothering me so much I said, crap, let me turn back around. So I turned the car around, U-turned, and started heading right back into Houston. And went right into the restaurant. As soon as I got to the restaurant, I walked into the restaurant, picked up my tray, and got in line. But before I picked up my tray and got in line, I went to the restroom and I got back out. And right as I got back out, I'm about to grab the tray, and I look outside and I see all of a sudden the implant goes off in the ears. It starts clicking right in the ears. And I start getting this sensation like I'm being watched. So I look, and outside the restaurant, I see 4 aliens walk up, human aliens, and I see 5, I think it was 5 men, no, 4 men and a woman that were regular humans. They look like they're all in their 40s and 50s, Caucasian gentlemen, and the 4 aliens sat up there. So they look inside the restaurant at me, and I see their eyes, and I'm like, crap. So one of them, they're talking outside, and the ETs walked up to the humans, the regular people, and gave them a hug, and they were acting like they knew each other. And I was there standing in a restaurant looking at this, and I'm like, holy crap. I said, these people here are not aliens, but these over here are aliens. And these aliens are talking to these regular people. So the woman that was in with the group, there were 2 women and 3 men. Yes, I think I remember. She walks in and she walks right by me and just looks in my eyes point blank, and I see her eyes. And she smiled at me and walked back into the restroom, and she came back out. And I decided that I was going to pull out of the line and set my tray down. So I stepped outside, and when I stepped outside, they were all out there sitting all together interacting. Okay? So they got up while I walked outside, and they weren't looking at me while that was going on. It was obvious something was going on. So I went back in line, and then they joined the line and came into the restaurant. So I found out now that I wasn't the only one this was happening to. So they are interacting with other humans face to face inside the city. I'm not the only one. There's 24 of them, and these people, they have different types of missions. Some of them are working on the environment. Some of them are working on different technologies. Some of them are working on similar things. My thing that I'm working on is setting up commercial farming systems inside the center of the city, inside buildings, to eventually lead to a high-rise operation, is what this whole thing's about. So it turns out that I'm not the only one interacting with them in here. So 2010, I was more concerned about what was going on in the economy, because we're in the middle of a crash. And things are not going good, and things are going to begin to become even more difficult for me, and not just me, everyone else. Throughout all of 2010, there was a lot of observation going on. I saw more extraterrestrials looking at me out in public than I've ever seen. I mean, I had over 50 face-to-face sightings over a year. There's a lot of observation going on, different types of them. There were different groups, all sorts of stuff posing as humans. I mean, all these different groups are showing up.
Say, can you finally
Start telling us the truth.
Protect our civil liberties.